Hello there. More of an unsettled weather story to come across Europe as we head through this week. If we take a look at the satellite picture, this huge swirl of cloud is a deep area of low pressure that's going to bring some wet and windy weather in from the west. At the same time, we've had some stormy weather conditions across Italy, which are all moving our way steadily eastwards. So they will bring yet more rain into Monday, particularly across parts of the southeast Mediterranean. Let's look at that in a little more detail. So for Turkey, for mainland Greece, up into the Balkans, we'll see some rain, some snow through the Alps as well. A few showers into Italy, affecting Corsica, Sardinia as well, and a few showers and some snow across the Pyrenees. Not too bad though through Spain and Portugal. Still not particularly warm with it though, only 12 degrees in Madrid. A lot of clouds come on Monday across France, the Low Countries, the UK, and still quite cool into Scandinavia. But from Tuesday onwards, it's wetter, windier weather pushing in from the Atlantic. The winds will swing round to a southwesterly, not as cold as it has been, but we could see gale force gusts of winds and some of that rain quite intense as well. So that is going to be the talking point over the next few days. You can see unsettled into London, also into Paris. We will keep it relatively cool still into Madrid, but some drier, sunnier weather through Rome. Elsewhere, looks as though we keep that cold feel. In Moscow, temperatures still struggling to climb above freezing. Hello there. For many in the United States, it was a cold Thanksgiving, record-breaking for some across the northeast. And that cold plunge of air still sitting there across the whole of North America, descending as far south as parts of northern Texas and the Carolinas. So a disappointing feel to the story. And that means that there's still some snow potentially moving across and out of the Rockies into North Kansas and to Illinois. At the same time, we've got some wet weather moving through New York State, eventually into Maine. There'll be some snow in there as well, and across the Great Lakes. So that is going to be the story. A bit quieter through the Rockies and further west. We have got a weather front moving in across the Pacific Northwest, and that'll bring some rain into British Columbia, maybe eventually into northern parts of Oregon. But for much of California, it's fine and settled on Sunday. That'll be good news for those travelling home after the Thanksgiving break. This is the story then. There will be some rain through Vancouver and Seattle, easing a little into the early part of next week, brighter, but then some rain to come into San Francisco again from Tuesday. Now there's that stormy weather I said, talking through Maine. Behind it, quite cloudy conditions, quite cool here as well over the next few days. And then we've got that potential for snow through North Kansas into Illinois, Nashville, Tennessee, into Georgia, seeing some wet weather as well. So this is the story over the next few days. An improving picture into Atlanta. New York will warm up just a touch. Hello there. Plenty to talk about in South America at the moment. It looks likely that we'll see more enhanced rainfall close to the Amazon basin over the next few days. And on the satellite picture, you can see this swathe of cloud. Now, worst affected areas look likely to be west-facing coasts close to Colombia and Ecuador and northern Peru, where we could see some localised flooding. Also, some pretty intense thundery downpours across much of Brazil. At the same time, heat building across northern Argentina over the next few days. But you can see by the vibrant colours of these showers the intensity of the rainfall, and it's extending all the way down through much of Brazil, down into Rio de Janeiro. But south of that, Paraguay, Argentina will see some fine settled weather and heat building, the same into northern parts of Chile as well. A little bit of cloud down to the southern foot of Chile, but largely fine and settled. And the heat will continue to build over the next few days. And you can see that in the 5-day city forecast, each day a little bit warmer. Now, moving away from South America to Mexico and Central America, things are largely fine and quiet over the next few days. A good slice of dry, sunny weather. Showers will be fairly isolated. We will see a few isolated showers into the Caribbean as well, but the story is fairly straightforward at the moment. And if we look at the city forecast, you can see this a little clearly as well. In Costa Rica, we could see more persistent rain, perhaps through the middle part of the week in San Jose. Sunshine then set to return. Hello there. An update on the heatwave conditions expected across the Queensland coast coming up shortly. But first off, let's take a look at the satellite picture. And really the talking point is all about the remnants of Tropical Storm Masagi, which continues to make its presence felt across that Indochina peninsula. And it looks likely to bring some heavy rain through Ho Chi Minh City. At the same time, we've got a weather front that's moving its way out through eastern China. It's bringing some rain, just clearing from Shanghai, and eventually it'll move into Japan, just clipping the far south of China as as well. Some sharp showers into the east coast of Vietnam, and as I say, all tied into the remnants of what was Storm Sagi. Now, further south of that, we've got some pretty intense showers as well through Malaysia and Indonesia. City forecast looks like this over the next few days. You can see quite clearly that there will be some dry, settled, sunny weather, but getting a little bit cooler in Beijing. Now for Australia, certainly not getting cooler, particularly across the Queensland coastline. We are seeing a weather front just moving its way through the Bight, but the stormy weather down in the southeast has eased, but it's the record-breaking heat that looks likely to continue across the far northeast. At the same time, by contrast, it's been pretty miserable in New Zealand, hasn't it? It's been wet and it's been windy at times, which has brought some localised flooding, and it does look as though it's going to stay pretty unsettled over the next couple of days. Here's our city forecast. Eventually, the rain will ease in Wellington. We keep the sunshine in Perth. Hello there. The weather story for South Asia is much improved in comparison to where we were a few days ago, where we had some very heavy rain in Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka. Still some showers in the vicinity there, but you can see on the satellite picture, not much cloud to talk about at the moment. That means a dry, settled, sunny story. Very good indeed. There's a risk of a few showers down to the south, but not really amounting to too much. It's all about the sunshine and some warmth building now quite nicely. So that's going to be the story here. Temperatures peaking perhaps into the mid-30s for Mumbai. Now let's move further north and west, because it's a slightly different story into Central Asia. We've got some stormy weather and some pretty strong winds as well, stretching down through Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, down into Afghanistan as well. Showers will be fairly intense, and with any elevation we could see a little bit of winteriness too. So back into Pakistan, and for much of India it's fine and settled. Still the risk of a few showers into Sri Lanka, but as I say, in comparison to where we were a few days ago, it's certainly an improving weather story. Northeastern states of India up into Bangladesh along with the Himalayas, fine and settled. And the city forecasts show this quite clearly. Lots of dry, sunny weather. Yes, always the risk of some showers into Sri Lanka, but nowhere near as intense as they have been in recent days. The showers in Tashkent will ease for a few days and then return into next weekend. Hello there. A forecast for the Middle East coming up shortly. A quieter spell of weather in comparison to what we have seen, and that's really applies for much of continental Africa as well. You can see on the satellite picture where the shower cloud is close to the equator. That's where most of the showers are. But in comparison to the recent story across the far northwest, it's an improving picture. Still the risk of a few sharp showers into Morocco, but better than it has been. So there are showers through the equator, and we've seen some recent rain through South Africa. That cleared away to sunshine. Still one or two isolated showers trailing through in Johannesburg. This is the story then through the next 5 days. As you can see, good deal of sunshine into Cape Town and parts of Dakar, but Johannesburg will keep a little bit of fair weather cloud. It's going to be a dry story for many. Lusaka will keep the showers fairly frequent throughout much of the day. Let's move now to the Middle East, where it's been quite stormy just recently. Most of the weather action really across parts of western Turkey. It's fine and quiet through the bulk of the Middle East. A few isolated showers remaining into Iraq and Kuwait, not amounting to too much. And further south, it looks likely that we will see some dry, sunny weather in the forecast. A light shamal not out of the question. That might bring a little bit of lifted dust, but generally speaking, as I say, it's a settled story. And the city forecasts reflect that over the next 5 days. A good deal of sunshine to be found.